Welcome to episode 3 of Ghostly Gossip. My name is Isabel Lee, and I'm going to be your host for this episode. Today we are interviewing Deborah Michaels and Callie Grace, who both have a story they want to share with you. Hi, good morning. Thank you so much for coming. I'm really glad to have you both.
Thank you for inviting us.
So, recently, via social media, you both have reached out to me and told me that you both suspect that you have a doppelganger. For those who don't know, doppelgangers are beings that look exactly like you. You may have seen them on TikTok. For the horror movie nerds who are still confused, like the Tethers from Us.
I had heard a lot of Reddit stories about seeing people that looked identical to you, but I figured it was just another ghost story and not true.
I also heard about doppelgangers. My little sister had been obsessed with watching skits of them on TikTok. She kept telling me about them, but I just wrote it off as a dumb thing she saw on social media.
I have been doing paranormal podcasts for about 5 years now, and every single person I interview say stuff like that. Like, oh, I didn't believe in it at first, or I didn't think this would ever happen to me until it happens to them. It's just a pattern I always see, so you're not alone in not believing it.
Well, seeing is believing, as they say.
Deborah, would you like to share your story first?
Sure. Well, it was about 2 months ago. I was home alone. My dad was at work. My mom was in a meeting, so she was going to be late. I had the house to myself and was mostly watching TV. I found a movie that I had been wanting to watch for a while. It's a movie called The Strangers. It's a horror film.
That was one of my favorite movies!
Well, I wanted to pop some popcorn before I watched it, so I went to the kitchen. Some movement made me look out the window, and there was a girl. She looked just like me. It was like looking in a mirror, and not out a window. She was staring at me and had the most off-putting smile I've ever seen. We just stared at each other for a few minutes. She began to tap and scratch at the window, still smiling. She pointed to the lock, asking me to open it for her. I looked at her and shook my head no. Her smile never faded, but she got visibly angry and began slamming on the window. I reached down and got a knife out of my drawer, but I looked up and she was gone. I didn't end up watching the movie, and I didn't get much sleep that night.
Have you seen her, at all since then?
No, I told my parents, and they checked the cameras outside and saw she has been watching us for a while. We moved as fast as we could.
Was she wearing the same thing as you and everything?
Everything she had on, I had on too.
I could never imagine seeing that face to face. Mine was a bit different, though.
Why don't you go ahead and tell us your story, Callie?
Well, being in college is not easy. I work full-time, but also got a job as a babysitter for a few families for some extra pocket money. This happened about 3 weeks ago. I was babysitting my mom's work friend's kid. His name's Josh. He's 5. I turned Bluey on for him because I was getting a call from my roommate. We were expecting someone to help fix our sink, so she was calling to give me the updates. I went upstairs to talk in private, and after a few minutes, we got off the phone, and I went back downstairs, and Josh was gone. I panicked, obviously, looked around for him, screaming his name. I almost started crying, and I try my best not to cry, especially around kids. I ran out of the house towards the park, thinking he might have gone there without me, and when I got up to him, I started scolding him for, running off without me, or without telling me at least, and he just looked up to me and said that I took him there. I figured he was trying to just get out of trouble, but another mom at the park came up to me and said, yeah, I took him there. I had even sat down with her and talked about stuff for a few minutes. She gave me details about what I told her, like my recent breakup, which I would never tell her because, honestly, she did not give me good vibes. To say I was freaked out was an understatement.
Wow. So you just took the kid, didn't... Oh my god, that... I cannot imagine how terrifying that... what could have been going through your head at that moment. I always hate it when people do not believe victims of paranormal activity that it happened. Because you know what's gonna happen? You know what happens in every horror movie, The Skeptic?
That's not even the scary part. Josh's parents gave me access to the cameras, so while we were walking home, I checked them, and someone who looked just like me was standing at the door, banging on it. She looked just like me, same voice, same posture, everything. She was calling for Josh to let her in the same exact voice I used to talk to him. And I called Josh's parents and the cops, but they all just thought I was crazy.
Wow. That sounds absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's so refreshing to talk to someone who actually believes me.
Anytime. Thank you so much for coming. I really do appreciate talking about doppelgangers and stuff because that's been something that I've really been studying a lot, and I'm so glad to finally interview people who have experienced that. Give me a call if your doppelgangers come back. We can do an episode too.
All right, see ya.
Bye! Hey, is this Isabel Lee? We're here for the interview.
Yeah, thank you for inviting us.
I just interviewed you guys.
What?